What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. We got a ton going on in this one. We are working on the S10 like always. We got the engine plate mounts all fabricated and welded in. We're going to be putting the seats in this thing. We're going to bring out my side-by-side, which you guys haven't seen yet. It's been sitting in the back for 6-8 months. We're going to pull that thing out. I'll give you guys a look at that because we got to do some work on that too. But we got a bunch of new parts. We did some fabrication. If you watched the last episode, you saw we fabricated a new cross member for the Power Glide transmission. Well, we got it all painted. We slapped that back in, so that's finished. So stick around. It's going to be a good episode. What's going on, everybody? We are back in the shop. Check it out. The cross member in its final glory, all painted up, 2 coats of paint. Came out awesome. Super happy with it. We're going to get this put back in the S10 so we can drop the S10 back on the ground so we can keep working on other things. So before that, though, we got some packages and I'm pretty pumped about these. So let's see what we got. We'll do a little unboxing video for you guys. This is from Rhodes Race Cars. Let's see if we can get this thing out of here. There we go. This is our 15-gallon fuel cell. I went back and forth trying to decide what size to get and what company to go with and how I wanted it to all work out. And literally days of looking at hundreds of different tanks, all different price points, all that good stuff. Looks like some of their great stuff got on the tank, but that's all right. We can clean that up, a little rubbing alcohol, polish it right out. So, like I said, this is a 15-gallon tank. Don't need this no more. It comes, well, I ordered it with the billet fill cap, which has an O-ring on it. That thing is on there. We gotta lube that up a little bit, but see that O-ring that sticks on there? But super nice. As you can see in there, we got the sending unit, so we actually know how much fuel is in it. We got our breathers up top, and we have 2, I believe it's a dash 12 and a dash 10 feed lines. So this thing's gonna be awesome. It's a sump tank, so this will go right in the back of the truck. If you didn't see it on a previous video, I had everything all kind of laid out. I still got to cut in for the sump, but I didn't want to do that till I had the tank in my possession. But nice quality piece. Got their logo engraved right here. The welds are beautiful. Awesome tank. Now, what else did we get? Let's set this one aside. We got another tank right here from Rhodes Race Cars. This one is our ice tank. Again, quality, price, all of it was on point, and I like to have all my stuff match. So mess around with this great stuff. Oh look, most important part, everyone, got the decal. Let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Goodness gracious. Come on, let it go. This is gonna be a 10-minute unboxing video. Oh, all right, here we go. Very nice. Don't need that. No more. All right, here, check this piece out. Beautiful. Got our power feed going in. I ordered this with the pump built in, so we don't have to deal with an outside pump. So we got that massive pump in there. Then we have on this side our intake and outlet, which is great. This is, I believe, our drain. Got a vent and our battery hookup. Comes with the tabs already on. So this one we're going to bolt down just on those tabs. But man, that's a beefy, solid unit. I opted for the black billet cap, which is beautiful. I'm trying to do this left-handed. For those of you right-handed guys, you know what I mean. But absolutely awesome piece. And of course, the decal. What else do we got? Oh, we got other things. This came the other day and never showed you guys. We ordered some smoked headlights and for this thing. So we got LED running lights. These are just your typical eBay or Amazon specials. I've had pretty good luck with these types of headlights, the cheap headlights, if you go in, what I do is I come in before I ever install them and I reseal the inside edge of this all the way around, because the biggest problem with these headlights from any of these cheap manufacturers, but isn't that a nice smoked look? Biggest problem with these is moisture getting in them because they're not sealed properly. The lights themselves, I've had good luck with. So I also have this, but we didn't order this, at least not recently. I found it in my parts supply and it's something we need for the build. It is the derail tranny cooler with the fan built in. I had bought this for another project years ago. It even comes with all the AN lines and everything. But nice new fan unit there, if anybody's wondering. Part number, I run these on Kong, who is resting over there, and they do a phenomenal job. That's our update in parts. Back to work. All right, and just like that, finished product. Don't mind that bolt, it's just an extra one I had. I threw it in there. We're not going to be able to run all three. We're just going to run the two on the outside edges, but I didn't want to lose the bolt. Got three in that side. Everything's bolted in, nice and tight. Fits good. I'm pumped. That part came out awesome. All right, let's drop this thing and get to work on something else. All right, one thing I want to do is I'm going to take this box back out. I call it a box. I don't know what the technical term for this is, but this is where the steering column bolts in, our brake pedals on it, and it bolts in here, and these four bolts there. But this was part of the factory dash, and I didn't think about it when I put this in, so we're going to pop this back out, take both of these arms off because we don't need them, and then we're going to slam that back in. That's the plan. That's what we're going to do. So let's do it. So we got this sitting on the bench here. We popped off these two brackets. Each one's held on by two 10mm nuts. And one was right there. As you can see, it's not painted. So before I put this back in, we're just going to top coat that a little bit so it looks nice, even though no one's ever going to climb all the way under my dash. But it makes me feel better. And that's what matters. I will know. I don't care if anybody else does. Well, now anybody watching this does, so all three of you will know I painted that so that there isn't an unpainted spot. What's up, everybody? We're back in the shop. We are making pieces. I'll show you what I got going on here. I didn't film the first half of this because it's been a couple hours of me just looking at stuff and trying to figure it out. We're making mounts to bolt the, whatchamacallit, I'm tired again if you can't tell, the engine plate to the frame. And I didn't just want to weld a bracket on there and have it look kind of crappy. So still going to look crappy, but it's not just a bracket. So I came up with these guys, and these are trace copies. And yes, I just cut this out with a little bandsaw and a grinder. I don't have a CNC machine or anything like that, and a plasma cutter would make a mess of it. So we did it old school with a belt sander and a grinder. This here is what we were working with. Hang on, got to get you off the tripod. Be a better view for you. All right, let me sit my fat rear down. Oh, there we go. Now, this is what we're working with here. So for those of you that don't have an engine plate, you get your engine plate, you notch it to fit on your frame so that your motor sits the way you want it and how you want it. But then you got to make mounts that weld to the frame that you will then bolt this to. So where's those plates? What'd I do with them? I just put them somewhere. I don't know where. There. So this plate right here, I'll show you, goes on there. This is for the other side, obviously. So this is the edge of that plate. Let's see if I can get in there for you. And I could just cut some radiuses on it so we didn't have a bunch of excess steel. These are just magnets right now that are holding it 90 degrees. And then that plate right there. So we're going to weld it across here and weld up this seam right here. So this is the gusset for the plate that we're actually bolting the engine plate to. So that's how that all works. At least that's the idea. So what I want to do, and if it's going to work, I'm not sure, I am going to put some tacks here on this, and then I'm going to take this whole entire piece off, bring it over to the bench, and weld it on both sides there. Then I'm going to bring it back, and I am going to weld it here and here. But before I weld that, I am going to bolt it where it needs to go so it's locked in, not just held on with the clamp. So wish me luck, because as we all know, I am a professional grinder, not a professional welder. So that's where we're at. Stay tuned for all of the comic welding. Wow, there you go. I don't know where I'm going to stick you guys. How about it here? Can you see anything? Maybe? I don't know. Sure. Well, guess what? You're going there, whether you like it or not. So now what we have to be careful of is maintaining this, because if we just burn this side in, that piece of metal is going to run a roll and pull. So we'll have to put a couple tacks on the inside and then burn in both sides like that. See if I can put it in a clamp or a vise, or I don't know. We'll figure something out though. But that looks nice. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. Is it worth it going the extra mile to try to make stuff look cool and unique? And then we got mirror image pieces for the other side. Let me know. I don't know if any of that recorded. Well, there's the top bead. Like I said, it ain't the prettiest. So I'm going to use my professional grinding skills to fix that. But it is definitely stuck on there. And that side actually came out decent. Got a little sloppy at the end there, but she's burned in there. Throw a little bit right on the very end and right at the very top. And if you notice, we maintained the angle we wanted, which was the important part. Most excellent. All right, I'll bring it back. And for anybody wondering, there is no book on how to do this. This is just what I'm doing. So do what I do at your own risk, but I would recommend doing your own research. Anyways, pilot bit, we're gonna work our way up through 5 different sizes and pop some holes in here. Going through the aluminum first, and then we'll go through the steel. And we are just about through the steel. Maybe not. Well, come on now. We gotta be getting close, people. It's a brand new drill bit. There it goes. Oh, we're there. So, got 3 pilot holes. On to the next one. Ouch, that's warm. Bit number 2, starting now. Bit number 3 is going in like butter. That's so nice. Bit number 4, going deep. Oh my gosh. Bit number 5, sending her home. Well, bit number 5 grabbed and just freaking broke off. Lovely. Anyways, bit number 6 for the other 2 holes. Bit number 6 for 2 of the 3 holes. And bit number 7 for 2 of the 3 holes. Going in now. All right, now we got to deal with that broken one. Always something. I tell you, it's always something. Look at that, right off in there. Now my piece is welded on there. I'm gonna have to get a hammer. Shop frustration, yes. I'll see you guys in a minute. You don't wanna see this. What's up everyone? Guess it's back in the shop. So motor plate mounts are done. I got both of these made for each side. This is how they fit. That goes right on there, bolts through those 3 holes. And that's what it looks like installed. We got the 3 bolts through there, and that's our gusset. The welding came out so-so. I ground it just a little bit smooth on that side, and then I smoothed it out completely on this side. We got great penetration, so I'm confident in those. So we're gonna buzz these on, and then we gotta make mounts for the back. So that's what we're doing. What up, Moose? Say hi to the people. You working too hard? Is that it? Did we do a good job? All right, we did a good job. Good boy. That's a good boy. Moose says hello, everybody, but he wants me to get back to work. So we're gonna get to this. We're gonna tack these in and go from there. right, got those tacked in, burned in this one side here, and then just threw a tack in on that side. And then what we'll do is we'll finish weld those afterwards when we pull the motor back out. So I'll do the same thing to the other side, because then we got to work on those back ones. But I'm happy with that. So for those rear mounts, we need it to be about 2 inches high and about 1.5 inches wide. And that's going to clamp right down into that rear spot. And I think that's all we're going to put back there for now. I don't know if we'll add standoff or maybe make that a little bigger in the future. But there was one hole pre-drilled in my rear engine plate. So I think we're just going to focus on that, get a really good heavy-duty piece of steel in there, bolt that down. I'm also going to be doing the motion stabilizer bars off the engine block back to the frame for lateral movement. So I have this old 2x2 1/4-inch wall angle iron. So I'm just hitting it with the flap disc. I'm going to clean it up real good. And we're going to use this as our piece on there. But I don't want to just slap a piece of angle in there. So we're going to round the corners, cut it to fit the frame, and get that all cleaned up and burned in. I'll show you. It'll be cool. Trust me. Here we go. All right, guys, we got them in. Here's our front mount. Like I said, when we pull the motor out, we'll weld it on the back side and then around the tab there. But that one came out really nice. Put a nice little radius here so it's not square steel sticking up. We got that rear tab bolted in. We radiused the corners so that it matched the engine plate. Radiused that corner too. And then we just need to burn in the end and the back side once we pull the motor and the cab out. So those two came out great. Very happy with that for how crappy my welding is. I'm not upset about these at all. Got that one burned in. I'm a little upset here. This one did walk in a tiny bit on me. It's not perfectly straight back. The other side's perfect, but this one went in just a tiny bit, but it's not the end of the world. All of our nuts and bolts clear, plenty of room. Same thing, we'll weld in around the back side later. This one was a little tricky. There's a bigger step in the frame here. So what I did is I ground all that paint off and I actually cut that radius into this tab, and then we burned it heavily. Actually laid 2 beads in there back and forth so that that one's all anchored in. But same thing, came out really nice, and weld the backside and the inside afterwards. Done. Not upset about that at all. We're going to start working on, I think, getting the seats mounted next. Oh, one more thing. I'll show you guys. This is roughly where our fuel cell is going to land, somewhere right in this vicinity here. It's not dead center yet, but that is going to land there. And then our ice tank is probably going to get slid back a little bit to about there. So we still got clearance here to get our power wires in for the pump. And then we can run 90s out and down right there and right there for our water lines to go under the bed and forwards. At least that's the thought. Trying to keep as much stuff not in the bed visible line-wise and hose-wise. And then our battery will go there. At least that's the plan. Should look pretty good. See, everything tucks down well below the bed rails. Obviously, I got to cut in the sump still, so that tank will drop down another 2 inches there. And it's almost the same exact height as our ice box. That's that. On to the next project. We're talking too much. Got to get work done. Bye. But before we put these seats in this thing, we got to run outside, grab my side-by-side that's been buried in the grass and weeds for like 6 or 8 months. So let's go get that, and then we'll jump back, get these seats installed. Well, here she is, boys and girls. I don't think I've started this since probably, I don't know, October. Last time we had it out, we were playing around in a place we shouldn't have been playing around and cooked the rear CV. So Time for new axles, but it's been parked for a solid 6 to 8 months. Let's see if we can get this thing to fire up. Dead as a doornail. See if the Noku pack has enough get up and go to get it up and going. We're in override mode. Come on. Oh, it was running yesterday. God, I love this thing. So the setup on this is really simple. It's mechanically basically just a stock KRX 1000. We have the heavy duty tubular box steel, not tubular, the box steel upper and lower A arms in the front, and they're 2 inches forwards. With stock coilovers, I added limit straps. I added a winch bumper because the factory bumper has the winch down really low and it sucks. So we ditched that. 37-inch stickies and little add-ons like the light bar and the back glass. But other than that, she's a ripper. You know, little things. We did the air box guards, the rear tray, Milwaukee pack out rack. This is my cooler, tools, recovery gear, just a simple slip-on muffler. One thing mechanically we did do to this was I did a 30% gear reduction, which balances out with the 37s perfectly. So it's awesome. Certainly ain't winning any drag races. Stock Honda Talon and any of the Polarises or Can-Ams definitely beat me in a drag race, but none of them can follow me on the rocks. Nice little 4-foot ledge. Oh, lost the camera. Threw you guys on the ground. We had to pull this thing out because we got to get that axle fixed. So this is going over to my buddy's shop soon because changing the rear axles in these is a nightmare and I don't have time for it. So we're going to order up some new Rhino 2.0s. I already replaced the front ones because I broke one of the front ones, so we got Rhinos in the front. Honestly, the stock axles in this thing are great, but what happens is you do really stupid things with vehicles that you shouldn't be even playing with. I was out with a bunch of my rock crawling buddies in their actual buggies, not side-by-sides. So 42-inch tube chassis crawlers on rocks that were the size of the side-by-side. I was actually doing pretty good until I wasn't. So anyways, everybody, that's my side-by-side. She'll be back in action soon. I'll throw a clip in the video of it on the rocks.
Turn passenger into it a little bit.
Back up a little bit and then go a little passenger. I wish I had a video of it when it broke, but I don't. Let me know if you guys want to see more of that. We got to get back to work on the S10. All right, let's get back to it. All right, let's get to work on these seats. Now, what we want to do in here is set these things so that they are level with each other. front and rear. So what I think we'll do is we'll start on the front, right? I already made holes for these two, and then the two outer ones land on the existing seat studs. So what we're gonna do is we'll bolt down this guy, cinch that one tight. We'll do the same thing on that side. And then we got spacers that we're gonna put underneath here and there to make this not do the teeter-totter, weeble wobble, back and forth. So we gotta grab our spacers and get to work. I also don't know what nuts I need, and I don't know where they are. So we're gonna have a guessing game on that. Unless, do I have any over here? Did I put them in a bag? I don't think I have them. Bed bolts, frame support, fender bolts, tailgate. What's that? Lug nut spacers, bumper. Nope, we don't have those nuts. We got to find nuts that fit on those studs. Hopefully we have some, because I don't know. Anyways, here's our spacers. So we've got these guys here are 3/4, no, ½ inch. These ones are 3/4 inch. This is some random ones. We got 1/8 inch, we've got 1/4 inch, and we've got 1/16. So we're gonna bring all of this over there, and I'm not sure what nuts are gonna work, but let's try this one. Too big. There's the wrong nut. Maybe it's an M10. Bingo, M10 is the correct nut. Wow, that's a bad angle. I look like I'm fat as hell in this picture. How about that? Still fat. Let's figure out what needs to go where. What I think I'm gonna do here is, I'm not sure. I have no idea. I'm gonna get another straight edge, another level. So we can do front and back at the same time. Got it. Let's see. I don't know if you guys wanna watch me do this or not, but I'll record it for you. I don't think this is the correct way to do this, but it's my way. So proceed at your own discretion. Roughly there. Now, let's see what washer is gonna fit here. I think this is going to be a ½ inch, not washer, spacer. It's a spacer. You know, it's really funny if they didn't fit over the bolt, but they do. So this one, we'll get that guy. That now sits really nice. Now, that one's gonna be an 1/8 inch. This one here, right here. I don't know. That one's loose. No, we might have to do 1/4 there. Yep. 1/4 inch. Perfect. This side's done. We're going to the other side. So this side took a ½ inch spacer on the outer back bracket. It took a 1/4 inch spacer on the inside front bracket and an 1/8 inch spacer on the back inside bracket. Who knows what the other side will be? Oh, almost fell. All right, I think the front inside one's gonna be a 1/4. Nope, touch too much. Should have got some 3/16 ones. We might have to double this thing up. We'll have to do a 1/8 and a 1/16. Let's do this back one here first. I think that one's a 1/4. Yep. So this one here is a 1/4. So we don't need one on the inside of this inside bracket in the back. And then, man, a 1/4 is so close to being right. All right, we're stacking them. It's gonna be an 1/8 and a 1/16 on that particular one. Oh no, there's a hole in the back. Lovely, they went flying everywhere. We'll have to put some tape on that. So we got a 1/16 and an 1/8. Nope, incorrect. This is the 1/16. All right, they all fell out of this bag a second ago. Now I can't get one out. There it goes. It's like a magic trick. That's the ticket. All right, seats are perfectly parallel with each other. Nice and straight across. We got them right where we need them to be. Everything's pretty copaesthetical. We'll grab some nuts, some bolts, and tighten it all down. Yes! They are also straight across the front and look really good that way. Maybe a 64th off. We'll call that acceptable. Well, that's lovely. With the spacer that we need on the back side, on the passenger back, the stud factory one, it's too short now. So I can't put a nut on there. But we're gonna leave the spacer there for now, hold the seat where it goes. I gotta take all this back out so we can paint the cab. This is mock-up so I can get my seat set, check my steering column, my gas, and my brake pedal, the stopper and goer. Make sure that's all copacetic with each other. So we'll lift this up, we'll put the nuts on the bottom of those two, and then throw some seats in this thing. Let's get all the tools out of here. Watch out. No room. Try not to hit you guys. Ow. Yep. Going up. Hi. You want to come under here? Maybe? There you go. What's up, everyone? We're going to play with our nuts. Oh, great. That guy. That one. I got to see what happens with the cage that's going in here because we're going to have floor bars that run across the floor. So these seat mounts might have to come out or get modified. We might not be able to use them at all. I don't know. But I need them in there right now so I can mock my seats up, get their placement, get their height so that we make sure our door bar lands between the elbow and the chaudière. Otherwise, tech that is. We won't pass tech because I am short. Can't tell in videos. All right, we'll snug that up a little bit. Boom. And boom. Yeah, I tell you what, I am really proud of that cross member, guys. That thing came out really nice. Looks like a factory unit. Get out of there. What do we got to do now? We're going to get the seats. We got to lower this thing down. Hop goes the weasel. Well, for seats, boys and girls, we got your standard good old fat boy Kirkys. I bought these seats when I was like 90 pounds heavier. These are 18-inch. I swim in them now. So I might replace this one with a upgraded Kirky with restraint. That one we're going to keep over there in case I got any pleasantly plump friends that want to go for a ride with me. They don't need to be snug. They can be comfortable. So this one might get replaced. I had bought these for a Camaro project I was working on. And like I said, I was unpleasantly plump then. That was almost 100 pounds ago. Paper's falling everywhere. Just stay down there then. All right, let's sit in our truck for the first time. Oh, God, that's horribly uncomfortable. Get back on there. See how short I am? Everybody always complains they don't have enough head height in these. So they put the seats on the floor. I'm on seat brackets and the ceiling's a mile away. All right, we got seat bases that go on these guys and we can get those mounted in here. We'll put some blocks underneath this thing, get it up where it needs to be. I got to scooch forwards too, something more like that, even a little more forwards than that. It's a pain in the butt to do by yourself, I ain't gonna lie. But we got to go up a mile, at least 3-4 inches, and still go forwards. Whee! Pretty soon we're gonna be banging 2 gears in this girl. Nope, that's an eternity away. Ow! We got to get the seat somewhere like that and up here. All right, we got to go find our seat brackets. All right, we jammed some boards in there. I wish I had a way to hold the seat down so I could get a feel for it. We'll have to finagle ourselves in here carefully. Oh, that's much better. Plenty of ceiling height. Right now, I'm sitting about 2.5 inches higher than I was being right on the brackets, but that feels pretty good. I think I'm gonna have to do a different driver's seat though. This thing is huge. I could put another freaking person in here with me. It's a little over the top, not gonna lie, a little much. But it fits my back how it needs to because I got big shoulders. Like I can just tuck in this thing. I really feel like this steering column is not where it should be though. Something doesn't feel copacetic. But it is bolted all in the factory location. I think I gotta slide way out. Oh, that's much better. Might even have to go back a little bit. That's not bad. That feels pretty good. I think that's a good starting point. I think we'll have enough room for the hoop in the back. This bar will come across. It's gonna be really close to the seat, but it should work. Room. All right, now I gotta try and get out without moving the seat. All right, now how in the relish am I gonna do this? Come here, let's talk about this. What do you wanna talk about? I'm procrastinating. My head's not in this right now, but it needs to be because we got to get it done. So let's figure it out. These are our brackets, right? Well, that's going to go on that side. This one is going to go over here and go on there. So, but what I need to do is figure out how to not move and move the seat so that I can bolt this on there. Do I use this one as a reverse template? That could work. Then all I got to do is try to figure out how to get that straight line because I want some seat bracket somewhere here like this. But I think that could work, boys and girls. I think I got a marker on me too. This is not its final resting place. So we're gonna call this by eye mechanics right now. By eye mechanics. And I am going to drill a hole right there and a hole right here. And then this one will bolt right on there, right? So it's going to be this hole. I'm gonna mark these holes up here so I remember where to bolt it to. And that one. And I can drill those 2 holes. I can drill 2 holes on the other side, and then we can put some nuts and bolts on this to temporarily lock it in place, take our wood out, put our seat on, and we can fish some nuts and bolts in from underneath and top and bottom under there for this part right here. That bolts the whole thing to the seat bottom. We got a plan. Let's put it in action. Hey, someone's ripping a motorcycle outside. We just had a horrible thunderstorm and it's still at 30-mile-an-hour winds. They're probably trying to get home. We're going to the bench. Right. Now, we should be from this front edge, 6 inches and 14 3/4, like so. What's our height? The front one is going to be, we're calling that 1.5 inches, and the back one's 1 inch. This front one's gonna be 1.5 inches roughly, and this back one's 1 inch, like that. Now, just for reference purposes, make sure my holes are gonna line up at some point, shape or form properly. We got that guy there, and that one there. I think we're pretty good. Let's hit this with the center punch, and then we'll drop a pilot bit on it, something like an 1/8 inch. This guy. We're gonna drill out these seats. We got M8 bolts. Having a brain fart here. Oh my God. What the hell kind of bolts are those? They got the flanges on the nuts and the bolt. Flange bolt. There you go. Very good. We're gonna anyways fit perfect in that hole. Perfect. So that's what we're gonna use. We're gonna get these seats mocked up. I'm gonna finish drilling out this one. We'll bolt the brackets in and I'll show you that in the truck. Don't need blocks. Yeah. Now that should go right on there like so. Now where's the middle? Right about there, according to that. All right, let's climb in this thing. See where we gotta be. Oh, that's not too bad. I think we nailed it. Steering wheel right here. That could work. Plenty of head height. It could almost go up higher, honestly. But for right now, all intents and purposes, this will be close enough to get our cage in. Like I said, I'm probably not even using this seat. I feel like I'm still crooked though. Definitely feel like I'm still crooked, even though I don't think I am. To me, it feels like the steering column, pardon my language, is turned, like it's pointing out that way more. I don't know. But that's where it is. That's all the factory stuff there. Column's not, but it bolts in the factory spots. And it's all centered. Everything's proper. So, I guess that is where it's going to be. And that's that. Let's throw some bolts in the seat base. Can I get out? Even though we just moved the seat all over the place. Let's line it up with some holes. I'm going to move it back just a fuzz. So that one has to go there. And that one goes there. And then we'll just throw a nut and bolt on each side, front and back, and lock that down right there and see what she looks like overall. But I think that's going to be pretty good. Well, everybody, the seats are in. I'm really pumped about this. I think they came out good. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment. I'm not a huge fan, honestly, of these cheap Kirkys. I've never run them before. Like I said, I bought these probably 4 years ago for another project. So I was like, oh, we're just going to use them in this. I'm really happy with the placement and how everything lined up. I think I did a good job. But I'm not a huge fan of the seats. So I'll probably keep the passenger one. Like I said, it's really big. This is an 18.5-inch seat. but I'm probably going to swap the driver's seat out for something a little better, either another Kirky, maybe I'll spring for a Race Tech. I don't know yet, but definitely want to get a better driver's seat. If you guys got any recommendations, I have really wide shoulders and I'm short. So it's tough finding a race seat that fits me comfortably. I know I have to get one that's wider than my rear end to fit my shoulders. So if you guys got any recommendations, please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are running, especially if you're like a big guy. That would be helpful. Because if you're like 160 pounds, we're not built the same. And a seat that works for you will not work for me, and vice versa. So let me know. Leave a comment. I'll be really happy to get some legit input from you guys. But placement came out great. Steering column is in. I think everything lines up relatively well. I might bolt the steering wheel on just to see how that all works, but the heights are good. So I can adjust them easily enough forwards and backwards. And we got our mounts are done. All in all, doesn't look like a lot got done, but a lot got done. So I'm pumped. Tranny cross members done. Engine plates, brackets are all mounted and welded in. Seats are mounted in. Steering column is in. We're going to have to figure out our headers, and we're going to have to figure out that oil pan on the steering rack where it comes out of the rack, because right now I can't get one of the universal joints on there because it is so close to the oil pan. So we're probably going to have to modify the oil pan, and I know I'm going to have to modify my turbo header. So that's it for another day. Anyways, for the next video coming up, we're going to have to continue finishing out the firewall here, the wiper cowl area. I got to cut it back. We're going to buzz in some filler plates, make some panels in there, make that all look good. We've got a little more work to do on the cab itself. And I don't remember if I showed you already in one of my previous clips throughout the week, because I haven't gone back through them all yet. But here's our fuel cell and our ice tank. We got a Rule, it's a Rule 3700 pump in here, the big dog, or the biggest pump that they offered. And then a 15-gallon fuel cell. We got to cut the sump in. We got to get that mounted. I got to decide what battery box I'm going to run back here. And then the bed of the truck will be all set and ready for the cage. We got to finish gutting the driver door, which is over there. And I got my door pins in. So we're going to get the doors gutted, get the panels installed on them, the aftermarket aluminum panels for the doors. We're going to get those installed on the doors, installed on the truck. Then we can mount the fenders, then we can mount the core support, the grill, the lights, and everything else, make sure all of that stuff fits. I really have all that done for next Sunday's video, and I really don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm going to try like hell. And one last thing. I went on a little trip today, and we got all the supplies for a professional paint job. We got our custom paint, we got our primer, we've got our sealer, we've got our clear coat. So I'll show you guys what all that looks like and what it is maybe next week, maybe the week after. I don't know. One of them. But anyways, appreciate you all. Leave a comment, like, share, do all that fun stuff. Click some buttons. It's free. It's fun. I mean, it's really fun for you, but do it for me if you liked any of this. So anyways, guys, I'm out. Remember, nothing stays stock.